Hello, everyone. I'm back with another young Indian. Right now, we have with us Aakarshi Srivastava. Let's listen to her. Over to you, Aakarshi.
Hi everyone, I'm Aakarshi, and to give you a little background about myself, I'm originally from Lucknow, and I moved to Delhi to pursue my graduation, my undergrad from Delhi University, Jesus and Mary College. I pursued history honors with a minor in political science for my bachelor's degree, which I recently completed back in June. Um, Currently, I'm working in the international development sector. I work with Adam Smith International as an assistant manager. And I'm also a fellow at BeVisioneer's the Mercedes-Benz Fellowship, where I'm working on a planet positive idea. So that's about me. Yeah,
Well, go ahead. Tell us more.
sure. So if I'm to like sum up the journey that I've had, especially the profound moment started when I was pursuing my graduation. And I think I always had this feeling that maybe I wasn't in a very uh, top tier college because I think a lot of people who are from Delhi University would resonate with that. If you're not from a clean college, then you think that maybe your opportunities and outcomes can be limited and maybe you do not have a lot of access. But uh, because I also came from a batch which did not get to give their class 12 final examination because that was back in COVID. So that also skewed up a lot of our results. And then eventually we had little control on the situation, and a lot of us didn't get the colleges that we wanted because we weren't able to write those exams due to various reasons. Um, and that resulted, I think, in a lot of dismay among people, like a lot of people that I came across. um, and I realized that, okay, now I have this particular situation that I have to navigate. And I took it upon myself that now I have to maybe work a little more harder and, find some new innovative ways to tackle this particular problem. So that's what I did. I got out of my comfort zone in a completely radical manner. I tried to get into societies. I had a lot of leadership positions. I remember that at a point in time during my college, I had like five positions of responsibilities in different societies and student run organizations. And that really taught me a lot of things. I met these amazing folks from different colleges and universities in Delhi. And this was really a great learning experience for me, not only in terms of the challenges and the workload that I had to navigate, but also in terms of just, learning to network, learning to talk to people, because these are not opportunities that a lot of cities or a lot of places tend to offer you. And I think in that way, I still am really glad that I chose to move out of my city and move uh, and maybe go for Delhi University. And when I was like pursuing these opportunities and being open to learning, I also got into more opportunities. I think that I also got into certain fellowships, which also shaped a lot of my undergrad in a very, very profound way. There was this fellowship called the Millennium Fellowship, where a lot of, at least a lot of Delhi University students do tend to apply for it. And then I got in fortunately, and I also became the campus director for University of Delhi South Campus, which like I had to, I think, manage a cohort of 26 other fellows from the University of Delhi.
Hmm.
And that was again a great experience, learned a lot, and also got to interact with so many people from around the world who were a part of this fellowship, so many young people, which also shaped my journey again. Um, I think these were some of the very, very instrumental moments because through that fellowship, during that fellowship, in fact, I also got a chance to go to the UNCTAD forum in Abu Dhabi, where I got to represent India as a young speaker and a panelist there, and I got to share my perspective. And and just prior to that, I also went to Hong Kong as a part of Harvard Conference for Asian and International Relations, which was, I think, the first trip abroad for me. So again, these were like very, very profound experiences all happening during my undergrad, just because I was open to a lot of opportunities, and I was also really obsessed with getting certain things, and maybe just very, very bullish about hard work and everything. So, and I think a lot of that then shaped up to this particular thing that a lot of that shaped up to the current position that I have, the current job that I have, because I didn't expect, as a person who has done history honors, to get into international development, because I thought that that was more economics, oriented, and I didn't have the right credentials. But then, thankfully, I think I was actually glad to have uh, to be a part of this particular organization. It's been like 2, 3 months, but I'm learning so much, and it has been like a very, very rich experience. Um, I think that I also had while I was also in my final year, I was also contemplating whether I should do, my master's. And that's a question that a lot of us navigate while we are, just ending towards the verge of ending our bachelor's. And I think a lot of pressure also builds onto us, because the people around us, especially our parents, they sort of have that expectation, and we do not want to disappoint them at all. So, but I think I was just willing to disappoint them for some time, because I said that I won't do a master's right now, because I really didn't want to choose something out of desperation, that okay, now that I don't have any choice, and now I'll just go ahead with any course to
Mm.
maybe please the society or something. And that was a hard call, because for some months, even in this particular year, in the beginning, I was really, really struggling to, you know, get an idea of what my life will look like after graduation. And these were the questions that haunt everyone. But I think what really helps is to believe in yourself, and also take a few chances, because this is the only time when you'll get to explore, and when you'll get to take those chances. And sometimes you should just shut every other voice that's around you, and just listen to yourself and see what you really want, where you really lack, what is the experience that will teach you the most. It could be the most riskiest option, but I think that is something that will always pay back. And that's one key learning that I've had throughout my undergrad, and now that I'm doing a lot of different things as well. But yeah, I think the ability to take risks is something that um is, of course, really scary, but it's also rewarding,
Mm.
at least in the long run. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. Now let's talk a little bit about your decisions. Okay. Uh,
Yeah.
how come you chose history? And looking back, what would you tell young people? Good choice, bad choice, okay choice? How is it for you? What's your view?
Right. That's a very interesting question. So when I was in my school, I had this idea of getting into civil services. And I really wanted to, give the UPSC exam and maybe get into it. And that's why I chose history, because I thought that I was good at it. First, that was like one reason. And secondly, I thought that I was really, because I was getting good marks in it, I thought that I was also interested in it. And that, now that I look back at it, I think that was a fallacy. So I was really in the mindset that I will give the civil services, and I had just made up my mind. And when I came to Delhi, and when I started living by myself, and when I started experiencing life as an individual rather than, being my parents' daughter, I realized that there are so many other options that one can explore, and that can potentially lead you to a better learning path. At least for me, that was the case, that I realized that there are so many other alternatives that I can pursue because they'll teach me more than this particular thing that I wanted to do. And I think humans have this tendency that once you've invested or taken a decision, it's hard to move back and take another choice because you've invested a lot of energy and resources into making that decision and perhaps pursuing that. But then I took a step back and I just took a break from everything, and I just thought about the mistakes that I had made while I was pursuing while I was taking decisions about what I want to pursue in my bachelor's and stuff. And then I charted out a path as to what can I do now moving on that can help me better in, na navigating those new paths that I want to explore. So that's how I went towards exploring more things, being open to certain opportunities, because otherwise I would have been very closed and said that, okay, this is what I want to do, and I don't care about any other options. But I think that is one choice, and that is one thing that really turned things and flipped things upside down for me in a good way. At least I think that for now. So the that was this taking a step back and then taking a step back for good and then moving on another path, maybe uh, a better one, at least for me.
Okay, so obviously, as you said, the job that you've got, you thought it would need economics, right? And you hadn't studied it, you have history and political science. So how did you convince them that you could do it?
I think they were
Or how
more,
did you even think of applying for it when you said, oh my God, I'm not prepared for it? It's like you are not going to apply to be a pilot tomorrow, right?
yeah,
You know,
yes, makes sense.
so what was it about it that made you think that you are the right person for it?
So during my undergrad, I also realized that I had an interest in economics. And so I had interest in two things, perhaps development and international affairs. And development does factor in a lot of economics as well. So this particular job was actually the ideal space for me, at least to start my career. And it was the intersection of both international affairs and development, which really made me completely down for it. So I went, and I'm mostly of the opinion, at least I've realized that it's better to apply than to regret. So I applied for it, and then I said that I'll navigate it. And there have been so many opportunities that I never thought I'll be good enough for. But it's only after going through that process, maybe you'll get rejected. That's fine. At least you'll learn something. So
Hmm.
that's what I thought. I was just going upright on every other opportunity that I was coming across. And this was particularly interesting for me because I just loved, even knowing about the work that this particular organization did. And I have been interested in economics. In fact, currently I'm also trying to, build up that skill, build up the knowledge base that's required for economics. So I think it's the willingness to learn and it's the willingness to take risk. I think both of them come hand in hand. And it's also about perseverance, grit, and just doing what you say that you'll do. So if I say that, okay, now I want to do economics or maybe, move towards economics, I will make sure that I'm taking those steps right now. Even though I have this job, even though I have other things that I am doing right now, that doesn't mean that I won't think about my future, which may be more, which might be a little different from what I'm doing right now. It could be something like pursuing a master's, right? And it could be in a very, very quantitative discipline like economics, which is very different from what I want to do. So I think it was all of those thoughts and mixtures. And I just thought that I should apply for it because it can just lead to an entirely new, life and world for me. So yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay, what other types of jobs did you apply for?
Um, I wasn't really applying for jobs. I was applying for fellowships,
Okay,
and they were mostly in the social impact sector.
yeah,
So, and again, that is also something that really coincides with the development sector. So I was ready to, think about a more mixed approach in terms of the next years of my life. So I was happy with any fellowship as well, which could teach me and where I can also, practically apply those learnings.
okay. And any city preference at this time? You were just applying everywhere in India, or it was just what was it? I'm just curious of the decision
Yeah,
making.
of course. Um, I was never concerned about the city or anything because for me it was like just give me that opportunity and I'll do whatever it takes.
Okay,
So that was my simple mantra for that.
okay, all right, okay. No particular preference. Okay, just give me the job. Okay.
Just give me that experience where I can learn and grow, and I'm happy to, adjust my, location or anything else.
So, all right. So today, young people are footloose. That's what I want to hear. Whether they are footloose or not, they are footloose. Okay, it's the job that matters, not the city, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. I think a lot of people that I've come across, especially the ones who are really passionate and, hardworking, most of them don't care about the location or do not have a lot of preferences when it comes to that. And they're ready to adjust, which is, I think, a good thing.
Okay. All right. And I don't hear the word UPSC anymore, so that is out now.
Yeah, that is mostly out, I
Uh,
think. Yeah. For now.
well, it's too late, I guess. I mean, by now you would have made up your mind, right? So UPSC is out. But
Yeah,
what else it is a bit to be found out, right? It's not yet clear. And you are young, you think, and you can figure it out, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. That's wonderful. So, with that approach, very optimistic approach, and rightly so, what tips do you have for young people? Should they do history or should they not do history?
I think it totally depends on the person. I have friends who are really, really passionate about the subject and they're doing great.
Hmm,
You really, of course, everyone is just, at a very nascent stage right now. They're just exploring. But at the same time, I think it's the grit, passion, and interest that matters at the end of the day. And you can really figure out your path. It honestly doesn't matter which college you land up in, which city you are in. It matters, of course, to an extent.
hmm,
It can help you. But once you know that this is what you're really passionate about
hmm,
and this is the outcome that you want to get out of it, I think you have to be really obsessed with those underpinnings. And then life does guide you in its own way. So, and I think it's also very important to be open and to get out of your comfort zone. I wasn't the person who would really go on and speak to you, sir, because I was really introverted as well when I was back in school, and I had never taken on any leadership position or anything. I had rarely, I was fine at academics. I had, I used to participate in co-curriculars a little, very, very little, but all of it changed during COVID, especially when I was able to have a lot of reflective conversations with myself and then I implemented what I really wanted to do during college. And I think 99% of it was just getting out of your comfort zone and just being open to things that are happening, just
hmm.
taking chances, just saying that okay, let's just give it a shot. We'll see what happens. I know that there have been so many rejections that I've gone through as well as a part of this process, but I wouldn't have been the person that I am if it wasn't for all of those pieces, the
Hmm,
successes and the failures.
hmm.
So it's that quantum that makes you, and so you shouldn't be afraid of those rejections and those failures. They will probably not matter in the long run, but what will matter is that you should take those chances. You should go out and just be open to whatever that opportunity can bring to you, instead of saying that, okay, this is what I rigidly want to do. And I think on the contrary, and also contradicting myself, it's also good to be focused, because that also reaps so many great things in life. And if you know that, okay, this is what you're passionate about, this is what you really want to do, then I think by all means go for it. But I think within that particular lane, or within that particular focus area that you have a lot of opportunities to get out of your comfort zone. And I think it's just that principle that you need to follow, which is to just get out of your comfort zone. If you think that you cannot talk to people, talk to as many people as you can. If you think that you're afraid of networking, network with as many people as you can. If you think that you're afraid of taking up positions and you won't be able to handle that, do that exact same thing. So
Okay.
yeah, that I
All right.
think that is my learning. Yeah.
Okay, great. You have used a word twice now, grit. Can you tell me what it means to you?
Um, I think grit for me is also persevering with what you believe in and what you think you can do, and not giving up even when life is giving you evidence, or life is giving you rejections about the
Mm,
contrary, that
mm,
okay, you're not good for this, you
mm.
may not, excel at this. I think that is great. Grit to me is just pushing on and saying that no, I'm going to try this, and
Mm,
I'm going to put my effort, all my effort into this thing, and give my best to it.
mm.
And just, learning from wherever I can. Even those rejections are a great thing to learn from. So just learning from those, absorbing learnings everywhere is what grit to me is. And that's what I've tried to follow
Okay.
throughout.
Where did you get this idea from? Or it just came to you naturally?
I'm not sure where this came to me from, but I think I read a lot of books and stuff, which are non-fiction mostly. So that could be one thing. And I listen to a lot of podcasts and stuff. And I really love delving into the stories of people, just like you're doing it with me. I love to just hear where people were and where they went.
Mm.
And all of the stories just, give me a great amount of motivation. So
Okay.
it should probably in one of those
Okay.
particular
All right.
areas. Yeah.
It didn't come via Instagram, right?
No, I don't use Instagram.
You don't use Instagram. Okay.
No.
All right, fine. Anything else you want to tell us?
I had a question for you though.
Okay, but
I
if
can.
it's a long answer, then let's do it offline because this is
Okay.
not my show. But I'm happy to answer. But if it's a short question, I'll answer it. If it's a long question, let's do it offline.
I would just like, the question is about your journey while you've made these Vidpeds as well, because I think you started a year ago, if I'm not wrong, and it has been quite some time and you've met so many people. What are some trends that you've observed, and what are some learnings that you have had about the insights that you've gained from from these
Okay, I
conversations?
think I'll answer that here. Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, you have to step back a little bit. Uh, for the first point I want to make it is that I'm a bit of a nonconformist. And
Mhm.
what that really means is that I often get ideas that are totally new. It's not like I do it, they come because there are two or three random thoughts floating in my head for some time. And one day, all of a sudden, I wake up with them connected. So it's not my doing, it just happens. Okay. But what had happened was that the pandemic made us all comfortable with video. Before that, we didn't do video. Okay. We were, at least my generation, we were text based. Right.
Mhm.
Okay. Whether you write on LinkedIn or you write on Quora or you write in newspapers, whatever it is all, and occasionally you do seminars, right? But seminars were also physical and then they became video. Okay. So, but that's not the point. Everybody is on video. Okay. So now the thing is that's sitting in the back of your head that look, now I can do video, even though, age wise, I'm not in that young age, but still now video is not an issue. And through various LinkedIn, Quora, I had come to realize that people like you, they have taken full advantage of today's technologies and opportunities and improved yourselves more than what they teach you in college by courses. You're far more than what you are being taught. You absorb so many other things, and that makes you very good. Okay, fine. What's the deal? There's no deal. But the point is that Indian society is still stuck in the old ways. Okay, so they still think, oh my God, these are junior people. What will they say? They don't know anything. Okay. But actually, the truth is that they know more than the seniors. So the seniors are busy talking to each other and they don't know what they are missing. So, I'm a nonconformist. I said, what the heck? It's time to end this nonsense. It's time to give this. You keep preaching to the young people, okay, you are the future of the country, you do this, you do that, but you don't let them do it. So I said, okay, fine. I'm going to change it. I'm not going to preach. I'm going to do it myself. So, fine. What will you do? I said, well, I summarized it one day as seniors talk, juniors listen. That's the current system. Fine. So flip it. Juniors will talk, seniors will listen. That's it. Okay. The rest of it just follows. I mean, then the details like, okay, how long is it? I said, listen, you're going to give somebody a chance to talk. You can't say you have 7-10 minutes. It's out. So it's against conventional wisdom that today's attention spans are short, but so you have to make it short. I said, I'm not going to make it short. They will decide what they want to say. They will speak what they want to speak. They will speak how they want to speak. Freedom, freedom, empowerment. So I often think in high terms. So freedom, empowerment to young people so that they can do better in the future. So empower them now, recognize their. So this is the thrust of it, okay? And after that, once you think all these things, and you just get to it, I say, fine, let's do it. And don't put any format, don't put any path, don't think it through. Let the young people think it through. Let them set the format. Let them set the everything. So you shift the power from yourself basically to the young people. You just become their channel. They are not in your channel. You are in their channel. So it's flip. You understand the flip and the craziness of the thought, because there's nothing like it anywhere in the world. But that's me. That's me. Okay, fine. I'll do it. Why the hell should I tell anybody else to do it? I'll do it. And of course, I was lucky that I had quite a following on LinkedIn of young people. And so I could readily find the young people. Most of the older people, they have no contact with young people. They don't. They have no LinkedIn profile. If you look at their LinkedIn profile, everybody's plus minus 5 years of their age. They don't know anything what's going on. Not that I know, but I know more than them. At least I know the people. So I said, okay, fine, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to, and people, I don't consult anyone. I said, I'm just going to do it. What's the problem? And there's no cost.
Yeah.
There's no cost. Let's do it. So here we are, and people have set their, and I was right that young people today are very good. So what's the proof I had? No proof, just a trial. And, like you have told me, you did this, you did that and all. Well, okay, fine. So you've learned much more than what the university teaches you. In the formal education, right? That is just a place to learn so many other things, right? So once you recognize that's what's happening, then you realize, okay, that these young people are very good. And that's what I see all the time. That's why I also don't ask any questions, because now as to what I'm saying is, well, I don't keep it's not a sample study or anything like that, but what I see is indeed they are very good. Okay. And some people have come from low income households and they've made it. That's a small number. Others have come from well-to-do, but they are not just sitting back. Now, this is a biased sample, obviously, but what can I say? I can only talk from the sample. They're not sitting back. They work very hard, whether it's in the college or in the jobs. So they're ambitious and they're qualified and hardworking. So this is what I would say. That young people are indeed ambitious, hardworking, motivated. And of course, must be those who are just wasting their time, but they don't come to my channel. All right. So those who come, they are like that, and they are interested in many things. And so basically, I sometimes write on LinkedIn some of the things that I hear from young people. And one of the phrases that I hear you also use, out of my comfort zone. It's like a common phrase, people want to be out of their comfort zone. It means they're ambitious. They're not stuck in some one particular thing. India is offering many, many opportunities today. Not in the old days. It wasn't like 20 years ago, it wasn't the case. But now India is offering many opportunities and the market is accessible. And as you rightly said, nobody cares about the city. That's because India has changed. Okay. So today you don't have to care about the city. But it's just not 100% true, because I heard from a young guy who went to live in Madurai. He said, look, in Madurai, society is so conservative that maids won't clean bachelor's apartments. Okay. So we have to clean. Thank God I'm not in Madurai, because I can now find. So, you learn so much, you hear so much. But the thing is, you also see that as an economist, there's a national labor market emerging, because people are free to move anywhere and everywhere. So, and I also see a lot of confusion. There's really no guidance to people. And one of the side benefits of this channel is that younger people can see how their seniors have handled it, because there's nobody to guide them. If, as you say, they want to move out of what they are doing or where they are, then the conventional wisdom is do PCM and engineering and doctors. Okay, there's no other wisdom available. That's it. The pressure is on in 11th and 12th to do that. It was there in my time also. But today there are opportunities and there's nobody to guide you. So there's a lot of confusion, and it systematically, and then just what I heard also was that there's a lot of mental stress, which certainly came as a surprise to me, because I did not know that young people have mental stress. But anyway, this is sort of the broad things. But overall, I would say that the original hunch, sitting far, far away, not having any direct contacts with young people, was that they are very good. That is validated. And if they get better opportunities and options, I think they can be world-class in every way. And many of them do go on to get degrees from other countries where the competition is stiff to get in, and they get in. Yeah. They get in. So it means that, we are doing a good job in those terms. Other thing that I'll say I have heard is that many of the young people recognize that they have had a privileged life. I had not heard this term being used before, but many people say themselves, because I'd ask no questions. So everything is what they say, that we know we are privileged and we want to use this privilege to help our country. And many of them say, look, I went to this place, I went to this here, I saw this, I saw that. And it was an eye-opener to me that, look, life is like this. It's not the privileged life. There's another life in India. So this is what I hear. But I think the channel is now on a sure footing. And this new slogan is a voice for all. And hopefully we can make it a permanent thing beyond me as a person, so that it's there. And it should be in all languages soon.
Yeah.
So that's the aim right now. For me, I always want to be in the conceptual stage, not in the implementation stage. This is now moved into implementation. So in a way, my mind is restless. I'm thinking of something else to do. Hopefully, I can hand this over to a bunch of people who can take it forward, make it permanent, expand its reach, and move into other Indian languages. I'm an idea guy, not a implementer. So that's it from me. Anything else I can answer for you?
No, I think that in itself was so many insights for me. And especially on the point of guidance, I know that there are so many things that people want to do, but they do not know what to actually, go ahead with, which line to choose, which line to pick. And so I'd also make this offering to anyone that I meet, and I'd also take this opportunity from your Vidped to reach out to anyone who finds value in what I have done, and if in case anyone wants to, learn about something more that I have done, or any opportunities that I have leveraged, then I'm happy to, chat with them, help them navigate these things. Especially, I think the international development space, which is very closed off, I think, in India, and you do not have a lot of idea about how can you maybe get your foot in the door when it comes to this really, really interesting world of international development. So I would love to, guide anyone that's confused or that's contemplating a career but doesn't know how to. And either, in fact, you can just go through my LinkedIn, see what I've done, and in case there's any opportunity that anyone wants to get into or get further details upon, I'm happy to guide and everything. Um, and also, yeah, on your point of moving out, I didn't move out actually, but I also recently pursued my summer school from University of Chicago, and it was in data policy stuff. So again, that was really interesting for me, and that also makes me, um, you know, think about a master's in another country, which is totally a different discussion for me. But yeah, I think that I have also gained a lot of value from your channel, because a lot of young people have actually, that have been on your channel, have actually ventured to different countries to pursue their masters. So yeah, I think this is actually a very, very, very great initiative for people like us who want to learn from ordinary young Indians, and their stories, and can find value in what they've done. And I don't think so there is any such initiative anywhere else on YouTube. And your vision is really, really inspiring. So thank you for doing that,
Well,
sir.
I know there's nothing like it anywhere in the world because most of my ideas are crazy enough. Half of them don't work, but some of them work. Okay. But
Yeah.
the underlying thread is that, look, you know what they sometimes say, look, think out of the box. For me, it is think where there is no box.
Mhm.
It's brand new. Okay. Or as they say, clean sheet of paper.
Yeah.
Okay, clean sheet of paper. And go there. That's where you are needed, not
Exactly.
in incremental change. Because especially in India now, we don't need incremental changes.
Mhm.
Because if we are going to be prosperous by 2047, incremental changes will not do. 3% here, 2% there, all
Mhm.
this. Think big, think big.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way we can reach our due destiny, by thinking big, and not being satisfied with what I've started these days calling as the bronze medal mentality. Oh, we at least won the bronze medal. I say, what? Or
Yeah.
at least we made it to the semi-finals. We are the losing semi-finalist. We just made it to the bronze medal. Don't go for the bronze medal. Don't. If you
Totally.
If you happen to get it and that's the only thing you can do, accept it. But don't accept the bronze medal. Go for the gold. Go for the gold. And people
Yeah.
are always discussing, why we in sports, India doesn't do well. I don't know the reasons at all. But what I do know is that we accept a greatness. Oh, she won a bronze medal. I say, yeah, it's great, but we need to go for the gold.
Yeah.
We have come a long way. Maybe 30 years ago, bronze medal was right. Maybe 50 years ago, even getting to the final participation was a big deal, right? You
Mhm.
got into the Olympics. Okay, it's a big deal. But today we need to go for the gold, especially the young people. They need to go for the gold. Think big, go for the gold. Don't aim low. It is not right. Think big, aim for the gold.
Definitely.
And don't
I
say, oh, it takes time. Say, what? It takes time. The world is not waiting for you to take your time. The world is so competitive, moves so fast. If you say, oh, it takes time, say, no, that's just, I call it the bronze medal mentality.
Mhm.
Don't be trapped by the bronze medal mentality. Okay, all right, let's end it here today. It's been a
Yeah.
pleasure to talk to you. And
Same.
I'll be back with another young person or an expert soon. Bye till then. Bye, everybody.